Good morning. My name is Mohammed Abduroaf. I'm a practicing advocate in Cape Town. And today's video is streaming live on Facebook. The topic is child maintenance applications. Where do you go? So if you find this video useful or you know someone that might be able to use this video to assist them in applying for child maintenance, please share the video. That would be greatly appreciated. We'll get one way into it. Okay, firstly, many people approach us with a question as to where can they go for child maintenance. I do not take it for granted that people should know where to go. Obviously, if you never had problems regarding child maintenance, there's no reason why you should know how the maintenance court process works. The short and long of it would be you need to approach the maintenance court in the area where you live, where you and the child live, or where you work. The issue regarding work was a recent amendment, not too recent, but a few years ago, where now you can apply for child maintenance at the maintenance court where you reside and where you work. So it makes it much more easier for parents. They do not have to go to work, travel back to the place where they reside, apply for child maintenance, and then go back to work again. So they can take time off work in the morning and go back to their work after they have applied for child maintenance. Also, dealing with the maintenance inquiry in due course. So what do I do? So first things first, the other parent is not paying child maintenance or is not paying adequate child maintenance. So you may, for example, require X amount of money, but the other parent is paying half that amount of money. It's not enough. Under those circumstances, you can still approach the maintenance court for child maintenance. If you feel that the other parent is only paying 90% of what you require for the child, you think it's unfair, you are paying, what you can afford to pay, and the other parent is only paying what he or she believes he should be paying, which is not enough. It's only 95% of what you require. Under those circumstances, you may still approach the maintenance court. So under all circumstances, if you are not happy with the maintenance which you are obtaining from the other parent, you are welcome to approach the maintenance court, and the maintenance court will deal with that. So what do I do? So I first find out where the maintenance court is. The quickest and simplest way of doing that is to go to your local police station and ask them where is the maintenance court. They'll be able to direct you. Usually it's at the magistrate's court within your area. Same with your work. So you go to the police station closest to your work and you ask them where is the maintenance court, and they should direct you to where the maintenance court is. As easy as that. Now remember, if your child is over the age of 18 years old, or 18 and older, he or she is an adult. So if there is no maintenance order in place, and you'd like to apply for maintenance order for your child who is 18 years old or older, you cannot do that because the child is an adult. That your child needs to go to the maintenance court, his or herself. That's important to note. And furthermore, you cannot apply for maintenance for children who are not your kids. So if you are not the parents of the child, you cannot approach a maintenance court for maintenance for your child. You have to deal with other processes, and we will discuss that at the next webinar, should it come about. So you want to apply for maintenance, the other parent is not paying adequate maintenance. You feel you have a case for that. Wonderful. You approach the maintenance court in your area or where you work. You go there with the following documentation. What I would recommend, you go there with a list of income which you have, so your payslip, whatever other forms of income you have. Could be rental income, could be private work you are doing. If you don't work for a boss, it could be various, receipts or some documentation proving that you are earning some type of an income. Bank statement should usually be sufficient if you aren't working for an employer. But as I said, now you need to show the court that this is your income. What else you need? You need proof of address for yourself, and you need proof of address for the other party who has to pay maintenance. How will the maintenance court know how to get hold of the other party or inform the other party of the maintenance proceedings? You will require proof of expenditure for you and your child or your children. That's very important, because you cannot go to the maintenance court and say, I require X amount of money, but you have no proof to show that you do actually require so much money. So I'm using a silly example here. Let's say your income is 1,000 Rand and your expenditure for you and your child comes to 800 Rand. Your receipts will have to show that you are spending so much money on yourself and the child per month. So that could be various expenditure. It could be rental expenditure, it could be food, clothing, medical expenditure, extramural activities, entertainment, various expenditure which a person will usually have. You need to have proof thereof. The reason why I'm saying you need to have proof thereof, the other party does not necessarily have an obligation to support you. He or she has an obligation to obviously support the minor child. And here we're dealing with child maintenance. We're not dealing here with personal maintenance or alimony or maintenance for another adult. So the other party has an obligation to maintain the minor child, and his or her obligations will have to be fair and reasonable based upon the actual expenditure of the minor child per month. So if the child costs every month, going back to the same example, 400 Rand, clothing, school fees, medical expenditure, etc., then you can't come with the receipts and only show that the minor child costs 200 Rand, which obviously wouldn't make sense because then the child costs 200 Rand. Or you shouldn't come with the receipts showing that the child costs 1,000 Rand because that wouldn't make logical sense because you're only earning 1,000 Rand per month and you need to first look after yourself. If you are borrowing money from other people, your parents, your employer, etc., to show them that you cannot afford to maintain the minor child, therefore you have to borrow money to make that 800 Rand or 1,000 Rand per month, which you spend for the child. That is fine, good and well, but you need to prove that, you need to show that to the court. So I always advise people, when you approach a maintenance court, be as honest and upfront and frank as possible. Do not try to inflate amounts and so on, because that wouldn't go very well. Should the matter go to trial and should the matter be argued, evidence be presented, etc., and it came about that you lied, you inflated the amounts, and that shows a bit of dishonesty on your side. So we would not recommend you do that. Be frank, be honest, outline the income and expenditure for yourself and the minor child, and that should be the first step. So we get many queries, as I mentioned earlier on, about what do I do if the other parent does not want to pay child maintenance. Our quick answer is apply to the child maintenance court. Again, we are streaming live on Facebook at this moment. If you find this video useful, please share it. Just one button on Facebook and share it, and other people can also benefit from this. If you're watching this video later, please do the same. It will be greatly appreciated. Now, what happens after that? What happens after you've approached a maintenance court, you completed a maintenance application form, you provided proof of the father, where he resides, your details, income expenditure for yourself and the minor kids, as the case may be. The court will basically open up a file and they will warn the father or inform the father or subpoena him, depending upon the court, to come to the maintenance court for a maintenance court inquiry. I will not go into much detail where that is concerned because that I'll leave for another video for another day. But in short, the maintenance court will call upon the father to come to the maintenance court and also prove to the court what his income and expenditure is as well. That's also very important to note. So the court won't only see what you have earned or what your expenditures are for you and the minor child. The court will also want to know what the income and expenditures are of the father or the other party, whatever the case may be. The reason why I do not say mother, father, or the mother taking the child, the mother taking the father to the maintenance court, because it comes about many times to our table, to our desk, where the father is a primary caregiver of the minor child and he takes the mother to the maintenance court. So that's also possible. So the long and the short of it is the court needs to make a fair decision as to what is required for the minor child. So if you are applying to the maintenance court, and we're going back to our example of early on, you're only applying for the sum of, let's say, 1,000 Rand, but the child actually costs 1,500 Rand, and the father can afford it or the mother can afford it, as the case may be, then the court will make an order for 1,500 Rand or whatever the amount is, and not the amount that you have asked for. because the court will have to make a fair decision. So we'll end the video now. Thank you for watching. I hope you found it useful and beneficial. Please share this video if you can. Someone else might find it useful, and we hope to see you at our next